there was a whole row of knots in your life, and let's say the 15th knot were relationships. Concerning you, they've never seemed to have worked out. So let's say, okay, I'm going to work on that knot of relationships. So I take a workshop on relationships, and the knot loosens up. And so I get really excited about the results. So I call my friends up and I try to sign them up for the workshop, and I tell them the author who wrote the book about the workshop. And then maybe 3 or 4 weeks go by, or a month or two, and the knot seems to tighten up again. So now, I hate that guy who had the workshop, and I'm really pissed off because nothing worked. And it didn't seem to affect my idea about money or my idea about my health. That I just worked on that one knot and I got a little relief. Well, what would happen if you followed that knot back to the first knot? And that first knot, in my view, is the misidentification with what you're not, yes? And let's say you told the truth about that. And in the telling of the truth about that knot would loosen up. When that knot loosened up, there's a thread in that knot that goes through all the other knots in your life. So you'll know the tree by the fruit. When that knot loosens up, you'll see its effects appear in all these other aspects in what you call your life. And in that, there's a convincing, let's say, there's no need for it, but there's a validation or a convincing where that knowing of it is now unspoken, and it gets to be stabilized in you.
It kind of becomes a conviction then.
A deep conviction, yeah. You're convinced, you believe with certainty. In other words, something has been revealed, and there's a great ability that hopefully you and I have, which is the ability to become convinced, yes? Because something in life will demonstrate itself. Many, many times they're over, but most of us are in an active denial of it. We'll have a miracle happen, let's say at 9 in the morning. By 12 o'clock, we've forgotten about it. But we could have a resentment that never actually occurred, and we're still dwelling on it 30-something years later. Yeah? You have to see the conditioned mind's tendency. The conditioned mind's tendency here is, if things are going good, it starts worrying, when are they going to figure me out? That I don't deserve this thing going good, that I'm a fraud. But the same head, if things are going bad, it says it's going to last forever. You have to see what is interpreting your life and see the deal, yeah? And then by telling the truth about its fruits, you'll probably be weaned off of wanting to eat those fruits. In that telling the truth about what you're not, that to me is the solution. You can't tell the truth about the solution, yeah? There's no way you can indicate it. You can't see the solution, or you can't see the truth because you're seeing from the truth at all times. But from seeing from the truth, you can tell the truth about what's not so. Yeah? And in that to me is the solution. That's the truth in translation here. When I'm in the clarity of what's not so as being not so, where there's no confusion around that to me is traveling lighter.